about the brachas on the Megillah. We just did. He says you say 3 brachas on the Megillah. You say Al Mikra Megillah. You say Shos Nisim, and you say Shechianu. So at nighttime, definitely say Shechianu. What about during daytime? So the Mechaber says during the daytime, one does not say Shechianu. Right? There's no reason. The Ramos says others say even during the day you say Shechianu, and he says that's the Minig Ashkenaz. We're on 316. We didn't do any Mishna Berura on this. And then he says Chaynog b'chol medina say we say Shechianu even during the daytime reading. And then he said, well, the Rama didn't explain that. That's what I said, because we have in mind other things. Then he says, "Ve'echad yochel vorech v'sheni korek." He says one could say the bracha, somebody else should read. So you asked me the question about if you have multiple people reading bracha. That's where we left off yesterday. Okay, so we spoke about B'dikas Chametz. One person says the bracha, and he sends out many people to search many different locations. Okay, that's what we discussed yesterday. Let's see the Mishna Berura, page 315. On 315, there's nothing. Aleph Shechianu. He says, "V'nochol lechavin." He's going to minhag to say Shechianu. So you say no. Shechianu you say during the daytime. So you said because, but you see from the Shur he's not learning the way you understood it. You have to say Shechianu at night. You say Shechianu during the daytime. And then he says it's appropriate when you say Shechianu on the reading Megillah. You should also have in mind Mishloach Monos, Sudas Purim, Shehem Gam Kein Mitzvos. There's a mitzvah during the daytime. And you should inform the Shlich Tzibur saying the bracha that when he has in mind for these other things besides. The boy, Kavona Shomea Mashmiya. He says it's something interesting. He's saying Shechianu. He wants to be Motzi me. So he's Motzi me Mikra Mig. Let's say he had in mind Shechianu is going on the reading the Megillah, but he doesn't have in mind Mishloach Monos and Sudas Purim. And I have in mind. So Mishna Berura says you're not going to be Yotzei. His Shechianu will not cover you for the others. Although he's representing you in Shechianu for the Megillah, but his value is only versus the one who listens, only what he has in mind. So if there are multiple things that have to be covered, he only has one thing, you're only covered for that one, not for the other things. So therefore he says you should inform the Shlich Tzibur, the one who says Shechianu, he should have in mind for the multiple things, so he's your representative for all of them. Okay? Let's discuss this. What he's saying here, Rabbi Pesach Frank says, let's discuss this. A person, we have parshas Zohar in Kiseitze, and a person missed it on parshas Zohar, and he wants to be Yotzei when they read Kiseitze, which is at the end of the summer. Okay, he doesn't tell. So the Shlich Tzibur, when it's the Balkorei, he has money when he's motzi people in Kriyas Torah. When he reads, we listen, right? But he doesn't have in mind to be motzi them in parshas Zohar. No, so even though you as the listener, you say, you know something, I didn't hear Parshas Zohar. When I hear Kriyas Torah for the Parshas HaShavua, I'll also have in mind Parshas Zohar. Rabbi Yosef says you're not Yotzei. That's exactly what he's saying here. Because you need Das Mashmi and Das Shemei. You need one who says it, has it in mind, and the listener has to have it in mind. Both of them. Because most people, either person would be embarrassed, you know. But factually, if there are enough people, you announce it, so everybody's covered. If there's anybody who didn't hear it back then, which, especially in certain communities, it happens, whatever it could happen, sure, you're covering all bases. Put it this way, it's almost like a bracha she'en tzricha. Factually, minig Ashkenaz, we have to say Shechianu for Kriyas Megillah. So if we go with one, though, so that Shechianu he's being motzi anyway. So once you have one, there's no reason to say additional Shechianus. It's like a bracha she'en tzricha. That one Shechianu, which anyway I'm being yotzi because Berov HaMadrash Melech. So to say now my own on Mishloach Monos, so this Purim, it's like an unnecessary Shechianu. No, so he says that's why you should inform the Shlich Tzibur. But factually, I think we'll see in a moment. What happens if the Shlich Tzibur didn't have mind? I don't think anybody says Shechianu, even though you should. When you send Shalach Monos, do you say Shechianu? Let's say a person, for whatever reason, wasn't in shul or didn't have it in mind. You don't. I mean, according to him, it seems to be. You should say. It's only because you've already been covered. But if you wouldn't be covered, then you should say Yom Shechianu. On Shal Chmonis and Sudas Purim. 1 second. Chavin Gabircha Shechianu V'yom Kizmanam Bayom Yisheino Megillah Lo Yivorch Shechianu. Oh, so he says, what if a person doesn't have a Megillah? You know, you don't have a Megillah. Person has a Chumash, so you can't say Shechianu on a Chumash, on the reading of a Chumash, correct? So now the question is, so do I now say Shechianu on my Shal Chmonos? He says, Mishein Lo Yivorch Shechianu on Mishloch Chmonos Suda. There's a Dover Anog B'chol Yom U'B'chol Shabbos V'Yom Tiv. Hear this? Brings Magen Avraham. Because there's nothing unique about the Suda. There has to be, to say Shechianu, there has to be something unique about what's happening. And I have, every week I have Suda Shabbos. It's not the Suda Yom Tiv. No. Kiddush, do you say Shechianu on Kiddush?
You do it on
because you do. No, because the Yom Tov comes once in a while. That's the Yom Tov. It's not the Suda. Shechianu is on the time of year. Right? Here's the Suda. You should say Shechianu on the Suda. Say Shechianu on giving food to others. Look, people invite people. They host people. Right? What is the emphasis of Mishloach Manos? The emphasis, you have to send food. You can't send money. Why? Because if another person doesn't have food for Sudas Purim, you're providing for him. So it's Suda. Right? So therefore, that's the Magen Avraham. Yeshomrim Deroy Levorich Zman Alayom Neitokvo Shel Nesho Yabo. He's coming to explain what's the decision. What's the basis for our minhag? He says the basis of our minhag is when did we kill the enemy? It was during the daytime. So the day celebration is celebrating what happened the previous day. We killed him on the 13th. During the day, we're celebrating on the 14th during the day. So the reading of the Megillah of the day is to commemorate yesterday. One is we were saved. We were saved. The other is the victory. That we destroyed Amalek. Okay? That's what he says. They tokvo shel nesho yabov came shimzman lezman koosi hariu b'chol modi Hashem vorchen aleim zman ayin ber alochu va'avo ochein hoylo Megillah balaylo uberach shechianu. He says, what about you had the Megillah at nighttime and you said shechianu at night? Okay? See, he's making differentiation. First, if a person didn't say Shechianu whatsoever on Purim, because he'd have Megillah not at night during the day, others say that you should say Shechianu. What about if you have the Megillah only for the nighttime reading? Once had an incident in Monsey. Somebody comes over to me, somebody who's sitting here. He says, can I borrow your Megillah? I didn't even know him. So me, like, not thinking, I lent the Megillah. Then afterwards I said to one of my kids, I said, I lent the Megillah. I don't know who I lent it to. I'm not sure I'll even get it back. You know, it was Alec. I wasn't Miyayish. Right? So he returned it. Okay? So I wasn't sure the next day I'd have a Megillah to read from. Exactly. He knew he'd be deported, so he wouldn't start up with me. Okay. So if he says, but if you had the Megillah at nighttime and you said Shechianu at night, everybody agrees the Shechianu at night would cover the day. Nobody would say on Sudas Purim or on Mishloach Manos you'd say it. He says, everybody concurs. One does say Shechianu during the daytime. Im Ovel Kores Megillah. Okay? An Ovel is in the state of mourning for a year. Shechianu is always, it's a concept of Simcha. He says someone else should say the brachas, not the Ovel. He's the Balkori. Here, Vorach Acher Brach Bishum Bich Shechianu Ein Ovel Bevorech Lotzi Ram Bich Shechianu V'Ovel Yikras Megillah. It seems that the person says all the brachas. He says another person should say Bevorech. He says Yivorech Acher HaBrachos. He doesn't say another part should say the Shechianu. Since it goes as a grouping, 3 brachos. Since the Ovel can't say the Shechianu, somebody else should say all 3 brachos. Have you ever seen it? Never seen it. You know? The only time it is, and it's cited later, if you have to motzi your wife, or motzi someone else, she wasn't shul, or you motzi someone, it's better the person who's listening, who has to be yotzi, he should say the bracha, because you were yotzi already. If he's not able to, you could cover it. You say the bracha, you do the reading. But if the person himself could say his own bracha, right? It's better he should say his own bracha rather than you say the bracha on his own behalf. Just as it's better that he should read the Megillah himself if he could, If he's not able to, so the bracha he could say. So he says his own bracha. Okay? But here he says chiddush and ovel. He doesn't say any of the brachos. Somebody else should say the bracha, then he'll do the reading of Balkari.
Would that be the same for about the Kia? If he would say ovel?
No. It's only because because the shechion is part of the tekiah.
Right.
Seemingly, it shouldn't be any different. Shouldn't be any different. On the mitzvah. Of course. But you already, the Zman already said it at night. The night you already said Zman. No, but it was both. It was the Zman and the mitzvah. It was both last night. Right? On Sukkah. When we sit in Sukkah, right? No, something you say the first night you say Shechianu at the end, you switch. Why? Because the first night it's going on the Zman, on the time, and the Sukkah. The second night it's only going on the Zman. No, because you already said it on the Sukkah. You could say Shechianu even before Sukkah on the Sukkah. But our minhag is that we wait for Kiddush. The second day we Yotze Shechianu in Kiddush. But now it's Sveika Yoma, so now you say it on the Zman. Because you're not able to say Shechianu before it's Yom Tov, right? If it's on the time itself.
What's the reason we say Shechianu on Hablachos Neros on Yom Tov and on Kiddush?
You don't. The woman, the Shechianu for the woman is not the Kiddush Shechianu. The Shechianu on the Neros for the woman is our Shechianu that we say at Kiddush.
Okay, so she's saying her own, and then we're saying.
Correct. That's why it's not even simple. For woman, does the woman answer Amen after Shechianu? Because you answer Amen before the person drinks the wine. You're not supposed to be mafsik. You're not supposed to interrupt. Correct. So if the woman already was Yotzi with Shechianu on the Neros, Yom Tiv, right? So how does she answer Shechianu on after the Kiddush before the person drinks the wine? Right? It's a hefsek. We that you Yotze, so that's part of our obligation. It's no different. We said Shechianu, right? Shemei Kona. For the woman doesn't need a Shemei Kona on the Shechianu because she already was Yotzi Shechianu with Hadlokas Neros. That was on this month for Yom Tiv. So they say because since that's already, it always goes together. That's why it's not a hefsek. That's why. It's a unit. It's a unit. Like she has to be Yotze the Kiddush, and since Shechianu always goes with Kiddush, that's why it's not a hefsek. When she answers Amen. We say, so first Shechianu is not Shemei Kona of Kiddush. She doesn't need the Shechianu.
And if we want to make a similar parallel to what Mishna Berura, right? Someone who's lighting Hablachos Hanukkah to make a Shechianu on that, but it seems like we light candles throughout the year. Why would we make a Shechianu? Just using his point here, why we wouldn't make a Shechianu on a Seudah? Because hey, we bring rest.
No. Because firstly, it's so many candles, and you're putting them in the window. It's not a regular lighting candles. A meal is a meal, right? It's a Yom Tov meal. So it's not location; it's the meal. The Neros, it's Pirsumi Nisa. It's the way you're lighting the candles. No.
No, if you only make one Shechianu, there's only one Shechianu.
Yeah, you don't say it every day. No, it's going both. It's both. It's the mitzvah and the zman. It's both. And that's the halach. What if a person doesn't have Neros Chanukah? You don't have Neros Chanukah, right? You say Shechianu. Do you say Shechianu? Factually, you don't say Shechianu. You don't say Shechianu. You don't. Maybe you do. No, it says you do. It says you do. You do say Shechianu. You do say Shechianu. You do say Shechianu. Sh'osa Nisim, even if you don't like Neros Chanukah, but if you see somebody else's candles, you say Sh'osa Nisim. You say Sh'osa Nisim. Because you see the Pirsumi Nisa, even though you don't like the candles. But Shechianu, it says, even if you're walking in the shuk, nothing, and you're not going to light candles. You say Shechianu. See, all these questions have the olden days. Not everybody could afford. The person was traveling. People was a peddler. He traveled for 3 months. Man didn't have candles, didn't have anything. So all these things, comes Hanukkah, what does he do? He's not lighting candles. He sees somebody else's candles, he says Sh'osa Nisim. He doesn't see candles, he's stranded in a forest, he says Shechianu. Right? That's the halacha. There's an argument. There's none when you say Shechianu. Some say you do. Some say you do. It's a question. I mean, you say Sheikh Shams Tzvanu Lechol Sudas Purim, right? We say Achilas Matzah. We say Achilas, right? So you have to say something similar because there's nothing unique about that, right? It's a Suda, right? It's a Suda. That's what it is.
What do we even have to have it in mind if we don't really need it? If you don't really need it, say Shechianu, then why do you have it? You don't have it.
No, but some say you do. Some say you do to cover those. Okay, let's see the David's not here.